Welcome to the Customer Success Playbook podcast postgame show, where my co-host Kevin Metzger and I, Roman Trebon, break down our latest episode, get into the topic and the discussion we had with our most recent guest. Before we get into this, few things. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on our podcast. Also, check out all our podcasts, our videos, blogs, thought leadership content on our website at customersuccessplaybook.ai. All right, so check out the website. Make sure to sign up for a newsletter. Lots of great things coming down the pipe. You don't want to miss it, so sign up for that newsletter. Kev, we had Julie Fox on to talk about developing a growth mindset. I absolutely love the conversation. I left the call inspired. I jotted down a bunch of notes and things I want to incorporate in my day-to-day and as I work with teams moving forward. Your thoughts on the episode with Julie?
Yeah, I thought Julie was a great guest. Very engaging, and really, we talk was a lot about growth mindset. It was about how you think about training and what kind of training, how you give feedback. And I think, first of all, I think it was all great. But one of the things I really felt that was important is Julie was talking about how she does all of this for herself as well. And I really feel like she kind of almost, to me, is a definition of how you lead and lead by example. And yeah. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, lead by example. And I just loved, she talked about, really getting to know the team. I think she actually said kind of like an interview up front, right? What are you looking to do? What motivates you? How do you like to give and receive feedback? Where are your strengths? I like that to kind of build a base of trust. And then she talked about, and I haven't checked it out yet, but it's on my to-do list, the book, Radical Candor by Kim Scott. I'm definitely going to check that out. I love that, Kev, that building that tree of trust where you're building an environment with your team where it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to ask for help, share ideas, bring up topics. I can't wait to double click into that book. And that's something Julie brought up as well.
Yeah. Me too. I hadn't read that book or actually heard of that book previously. But I love the idea, the concept of just being open with your team. And, when everybody's looking to succeed and trying to do the best job that they can do, and you're trying to do the best job you can do, that creates an environment where you really can be candid or have radical candor in how you both give feedback and take feedback. And you realize, to me, that's an organization, regardless of your team, especially when in our role in the CS function, right? There's a lot of cross-functional work that you have to do, and you've got to be able to be candid in how you give feedback to get to your goals and objectives. And I just think it's a great concept. I think it applies broadly. I don't think it just applies within teams. I think it applies across how you work with other teams as well.
Yeah. And, I think to be, just my 2 cents, Kev, I think to be successful in customer success, you have to lean into continuous improvement, right? I think you have to be naturally curious, or you have to develop a curiosity. It's like, how can I best help my customer? How can I best help my client? What can I do to get better? What can we do as a team to get better, right? Asking those kind of questions to continuously improve. And Julie mentioned it, right? Like there's no finish line with a client, right? It's not like the finish line is that they leave. And then at that point, you're probably doing a debrief and something didn't go well, right? But it's like, how else can we drive value, continuous value for clients ongoing? And it goes back to, I was thinking as she said that, to our conversation with Greg Danes, right? And you think about like that late stage churn, right? Like, again, if you have early results, that's good for a while. But then eventually, Kev, the customer's like, what have you done for me lately, right? And I think Julie's building a team and a mindset where they're always focused on what's the next thing we can do to help this customer out.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a great point. And actually, while she was talking, one of the things, a saying that I often use with my teams and with, I think I've mentioned it to you before, bad news doesn't get better with age, right? And that's part of it, right? It's part of being candid, is being able to deliver that news when it comes up, because there are times that it does, and you got to be able. The more upfront you are about it, and the quicker you get to, hey, yeah, this is what's happened, but here's what we're going to do about it, and being able to get into that mindset of, here's what we're going to do about it. Here's how we're going to address this now. Because sometimes things happen that are beyond control or beyond visibility in a project, and managing that effectively and being candid there too is just such a important part of driving successful projects.
Yeah, no, that's right. And you and I have talked about this after we meet with a guest. We try to keep the shows around that 25, 30-minute mark, and they go so fast, right? And I know there's a ton of, we'd love to get deeper into these topics, go into a growth mindset, but we are lucky because Julie, who is so awesome, is actually going to, since we didn't get to kind of really get deep into this topic, she's actually going to have an article that we're going to actually post on our website, a thought leadership piece that's really going to get into growth mindset. I'm super excited about that, Kev. I can't wait to hear more from Julie on how she develops this within herself and her team.
Yep, looking forward to that. That was as part of the debrief after the show with Julie. We were talking. She's like, "I really want to go into this deeper." I'm like, "Let's do it. Let's do it." It's very excited about that as well.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and it's probably a good way to let folks know. Again, I mentioned at the beginning, check out our website, customersuccessplaybook.ai. Kev, we got the newsletter that's coming out, right? So we're going to be promoting the website more and more. We already have Julie lined up to write an article on there. We have a couple in our back pocket, maybe a little too early to mention out loud, but we have some more leaders in the space that are looking to help us out and contribute. And that's the great thing about this community, Kev, this customer success community. There's, it's really a lot of people that are willing to help out, share their knowledge, and I'm glad we're connecting with them, and they're going to help us produce some content for our site. So again, check out the newsletter, the website, and you'll stay on top of all what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, keep on playing.
Keep on playing.